braces for what most residents here say is the unwelcome wall. Ed Lavandera, CNN, Mission, Texas.
For more on the fallout, I want to bring in Democratic strategist Dave Jacobson and Republican consultant John Thomas. Listen to what Congressman Adam Schiff told CNN this morning about the president's emergency declaration.
In saying just the other day that he didn't really need to do this, he just wanted to do it because it would help things go faster. He's pretty much daring the court to strike this down. It is going to be a real test for my GOP colleagues in Congress and their devotion to the institution. If we give away, if we surrender the power of the purse, which is our most important power, there will be little check and no balance left. It'll not be a separation of powers anymore, just a separation of parties. So this is going to be a moment of truth for my GOP colleagues.
John, do you agree that this is a test for the GOP, and how challenging of a spot does this put moderate Republicans in right now?
Well, I think Adam Schiff is trying to put pressure on the GOP to go against the president. But there's two things. First of all, most elected members of the Republican Party nationally do believe that there is a crisis at the border. They want to stop sex trafficking. They want to reduce illegal immigrants coming to this country. So I don't think you're going to see a major defection here. But I think Adam Schiff also is shifting the conversation away from really what the courts are going to end up deciding, I think, is not whether Trump thinks this is a way to expedite his plans, but simply does the president have the authority to declare a national emergency in this context? And I think the answer is going to be yes.
Dave, the president is painting Democrats as this party that wants no border security at all. In fact, Beto O'Rourke said this just yesterday.
Those refugees, those immigrants, makes us stronger, makes us more successful, and yes, makes us more secure. So at a time when not a single terrorist organization has planned or attacked the United States exploiting the U.S.-Mexico border, we don't need another wall. We don't need another fence. Because let me tell you this. Walls do not, as the president has claimed, save lives. Walls end lives.
The president, Republicans want Americans to believe that Democrats don't want any walls at the border. Is that the best message for Democrats going into an election year, what we just heard from O'Rourke?
Well, look, I think the Democrats clearly voted for border security. They just support more technology, enhancing the technology. They support more border patrol agents. What they don't support is this blatant power grab that goes against the Constitution by Donald Trump. The fact of the matter is this is an abuse of presidential power. It's reckless. And the American people see that clearly. I mean, we have seen in poll after poll on it, whether it's CNN's poll from earlier in this February, 66% of Americans don't support this national emergency declaration to build the wall. And in fact, interestingly, in that poll, if the president cares at all about his 2020 presidential election, among independents, a whopping 63% of independent voters oppose this national emergency declaration. So we have seen consistently that among public opinion, the American people, obviously are wholeheartedly against this, and they see this nothing more than an abusive power and a reckless power grab.
We know Congress could stand up to the president and vote on a resolution to disavow this move. Democrats are also threatening to sue the president over this emergency declaration. Today, California's AG said this.
Mr. Attorney General, let me ask you, can you say definitely that California will be filing a lawsuit and when that will happen?
Martha, definitely and imminently.
And imminently Monday, nothing will stop you?
No reason. We are prepared. We knew something like this might happen. And with our sister state partners, we are ready to go.
John, the legal battle is underway. If the president loses in the lower courts, this is all going to come down to the conservative-leaning Supreme Court, right?
Yeah, and I think the president even said in his press conference on Friday that he fully understood this will be settled in the courts. He thinks he will lose in the first couple rounds. And is likely to come down to, what does John Roberts think about a presidential's ability to declare a national emergency? I think that's what's going to be. And what's interesting is we probably won't see any final decision out of the Supremes for months. This argument may not be settled until right before election time. So your earlier question, Anna, to Dave about what the political consequences are about having the Beto O'Rourke saying walls kill people and walls are immoral, or Donald Trump arguing for more border security, is exactly the conversation that President Trump wants to have. It animates his base, and he thinks that the majority of Americans, certainly in those electoral college swing states, will agree with him on a border security package.
Well, Anna, here's the issue, though, that I take with John. I think when it comes to more sort of moderate Republicans, right, Senator Cory Gardner out of Colorado, Senator Mick Sally, who just lost in the 2018 election representing Arizona, Susan Collins, these are toss-up districts. These are states that are increasingly more and more purple, particularly during a presidential year. And these are senators that are going to have to cast a vote in terms of whether or not to rebuke the president's reckless power grab. And I think that's the challenge that these sort of more moderate Republicans are going to have. And it's going to give some potential momentum to Democrats with the upcoming Senate vote that undoubtedly will come up to challenge this presidential declaration.
Dave Jacobson, John Thomas, good to have both of you with us. Thanks so much.
Great to be here.
Thanks so much.
Quick programming note, Senator Amy Klobuchar holds a town hall event in